Welcome to Titans Football with Brian Callahan, presented by SeatGeek. I'm Mike Keith in the BetMGM studio, joined by Titans head coach Brian Callahan. Titans fell to the Commanders on Sunday. Brian, 48 hours later, final thoughts on that ball game?
Yeah, not good enough. Got to do a lot of things better. Ultimately, it got away from us quickly on a couple of mistakes early in the game, and never really gave us a chance to get any rhythm on either side of the ball to get our offense going or defense going. Just wasn't a performance that I think any of us are proud of, and it's got to be a lot better this week.
Let's get Callahan on some of the specifics. Run defense was an issue against Washington. What did the tape show about why the Titans had difficulty stopping the Commanders' run game?
Well, good scheme. I'll give them credit where credit is due. You know, the quarterback run game and the gap scheme with the quarterback involved in it is challenging, but it's not something that we weren't prepared for or shouldn't be able to handle. At the end of the day, just didn't quite fit some of these runs that you're seeing as good as we could have. And it's something we've done a good job of over the course of the season, but we're not at our best on Sunday.
Brian, because of Jaden Daniels and his running ability, can you not pin your ears back as much? Can you not be as aggressive up front with the normal things in a run game?
Yeah, I think you have to be mindful of all of that. You have to be sound and disciplined, and you have to be assignment driven when you got the quarterback run game involved. And we did some good things, but again, the game got out of control to the point where they could continue to keep running it, and it made it look a lot worse at the end of the day than it could have or should have been, but have to do a better job than we did early in that game against the run, certainly.
A lot of highlights from the defense we're seeing here. That's because they had a lot of plays, 77 of them. Do you have to change up practice this week because your defense was on the field for so long in Washington?
Yeah, those are things we'll look at. I think our performance staff does such a great job with all the data and the numbers and recommendations on practice schedules that those are the things that we do sort of every week, and this week will be no different with the load that the defense had to shoulder. So we'll have to probably make some adjustments there, but also got to get our work in. You know, we still got another game to play, and we got things to get better at, so we still got to get practice in the way that we need to get ready for a game.
Number 35, Daryl Worley was signed to the active roster, got the start, 17 tackles on Sunday. That's the most for a Titan in 12 years. How important for the secondary was it to find a guy like Daryl Worley?
It was huge, and to go find a guy mid-season, credit to the personnel staff and those guys knowing what was out there and available, and obviously Denard knew him from his time at Baltimore, but really productive. Played both safety and nickel in the games, so two very different positions, and did his job. His job was to get guys on the ground, and that's what he did 17 times, and that was impressive to see, and we need more of that from guys on defense, and I thought that was a nice performance.
Because you fell into such a large deficit so early, it felt like it would be hard for you to fully evaluate Will Levis's performance, but you've said no. You thought Will did a great job. Why?
Well, you got a chance to see him drop back and pass a whole lot, and that's what you're looking at a quarterback play, and how does he manage those situations? Where does he go with the ball, his footwork, his timing, his pocket management? All of those things were on display, and they're all opportunities to see growth and see improvement, and there was a lot of those things that happened in the game. In the second half, he kept fighting, he kept swinging, kept throwing the ball down the field, and I was pleased with a lot of the things that he did in that game.
What about Nick Westbrook-Akine, man? 3 catches, 61 yards, and a couple of touchdowns. Tyler Boyd, 3 catches in the ball game and lowers the shoulder right there. Let's end Callahan on with that move by Tyler Boyd.
That was an impressive finish with the ball in his hand, physical, and I liked that he just did his job, gave the ball back to the ref, and got back in the huddle.
60 minutes of that Sunday against Jacksonville.
We're going to need all that, yes.
There you go. When Titans football with Brian Callahan continues, we turn on Titans tape to discover a downfield completion to an unlikely target. Stay tuned. Welcome back. I knew what play we were going to select for Titans tape when we saw it on Sunday. Here's the setup. A Titans score set up by a 30-yard completion downfield, but the pass didn't go to a wide receiver or even a tight end. Instead, it went to running back Tony Pollard. Brian, show us how this play unfolded and how Tony got so open.
Yeah, this is a really fun play. You can see the defense is showing us what we determine as a single high safety. It's really meant for cover 2. This is a cover 2 Tampa beating play. But we knew even with the disguise in this situation is sort of get back on track, second and long. We knew we had a play that would attack it. And what that means is essentially as you see these safeties roll out, right, he's got a deep half, he's got a deep half. And this Bobby Wagner sort of got the middle, but his job is to open to the passing strength. And so you have this cloud corner here, and you have this cloud corner here, and you got this contour of two Tampa. Well, what we're trying to do is attack the middle of the field. That's where the weakness of it is. And so you see the route structure here, I'll just draw it, is Tyler's going to run what we call an attack route. He's going to go sit right in front of that mic and try to buy him.
Okay.
And then Calvin's going to run this swirl route, and he's going to come back. And so we got good spacing. Chig will be in the flat on this side. That's sort of to buy this front side, but the meat of the play is on the back side. So Nick Westbrook's going to run a corner route to try to buy that safety. This corner is really irrelevant at this point. He thinks as Tony releases, right in the wake of this receiver, that he's probably going to break out or break in. So these two guys sort of have him leveraged. But the weakness of this defense is right down the middle. But very rarely do you ever see a running back run right down the middle of the field.
Almost never.
And catch it like a receiver.
Right.
And so that was the intent. Really well designed. Really nice throw. Really nice protection. But you can see exactly where that void is. And then Tony hits the gas to the post. Everybody's bought up underneath, and he is wide open right down the hash for a really explosive play. And again, almost with a chance here potentially to break it for a bigger one. But that's the intent, is to try to design this play to beat this cover two that they were playing in these long second and long yardage. But to do it with the back really just hides it. No awareness at all that the back could be there behind him. Really, really well executed by Will, the offensive line, and Tony on top of it making the play. And you see it really good from this angle. Again, showing this single high. Chin's going to roll out to two Tampa, and then you see everybody is unaware of the back running over the top of the defense. And really, again, really nice throw by Will and a nice job by Tony. But that's a rarity. You don't see running backs running post routes very often, and it was something we felt like Tony's skill set we could use to our advantage.
All right, I got to ask you, go back to the first if you would, please. You know that even when they're showing single high, as we talked about,
Yep.
the single high safety, which would be here, you know they're going to play Tampa.
Yes,
you know they're going to drop Chin.
Yeah, the percentages would have told us in this particular spot that this is exactly what they're going to play and how they're going to play it. And then there's an answer, too, on this side. Let's say they did stay in single high. Well, we probably aren't going to work this side. We're going to stay here and let Tyler, and you get this sort of kind of curl flat distribution down here that you just work on that side if they stayed in single high, which they didn't do very often in these particular spots. So felt really good about the play design in the against the defense in the spot that we called it in that second and long yardage where they tended to play a lot more of this two Tampa coverage.
What is Will Levis's key in this?
He is strictly looking at this middle safety, and you can see he's feeling where he's going to go. And as soon as he felt him go wide, he picks up Chin in his vision, and he knows right away. You can tell by the confidence in his drop and his timing that he knows exactly where this ball's going. If you just watch his feet, he's taking three. He gets two quick hitches, and the ball's down the field on time, accurately.
What a pretty play. Thanks for showing it to us.
You got it.
All right, when Titans football with Brian Callahan continues, it's the first My Cause, My Cleats with T'Vondre Sweat. Stay tuned. Backfield in Motion is a nonprofit organization that focuses on education for at-risk youth that leads to a high school diploma, a foundation for higher education, and on-job skills needed to enter the world of work while using athletics as an incentive for academic improvement. In his first year as a Tennessee Titan, T'Vondre Sweat has already taken an interest in Backfield in Motion. In this week's Epic Western Genuine article, we get to see T'Vondre Sweat invite some of those youngsters to design his footwear for this weekend's My Cause, My Cleats game against the Jaguars.
Definitely gonna choose that. I like that.
So the event today was awesome. We had T'Vondre Sweat here. Having the kids design cleats for My Cause, My Cleats. We're excited about the fact that he's going to be wearing those shoes so the kids can actually see some of the work that they did.
What you gonna draw on there? What you thinking about?
I don't even know what I should put for that one. I'm just trying to think.
My nickname is Meatloaf. What y'all laughing at? What y'all laughing at?
My favorite food is meat.
Make them sweat. You gonna put make them sweat on them? You know that's my brand, right? You didn't know that?
Oh man, that's crazy.
Look, see?
A lot of our kids are from neighborhoods and areas of Nashville that aren't necessarily get to do a lot of different things that some other kids do. So when we have athletes and other people come out and help the kids and just show them that they're just as important as everybody else, it's awesome to be able to have them come do that.
You did good. Who drew that? You?
But she said
Whoa, did you get that on camera? Look at that. She drew that. Milo. Ooh, look at this right here. Backfield in motion, baby. Shout out to them.
That is incredible. Could they have picked any player to hang out with kids who would be more fun than Tavondre Sweat?
No, probably not. He might be the most fun for those kids to hang out with for sure. That was cool.
You know through your entire NFL experience what My Cause, My Cleats weekend means to the players. Can you kind of share that with us?
Yeah, they get a chance to show what's near and dear to them, the things that's important to them, the organizations they support, the people they support. All those things are a chance to put it on display, and you get to see things like that where you get to highlight those people or places that they make an impact for, and I think it's fantastic. And those guys love to share those things with the world, and they do such great work in the community.
You helped make an impact at something last week that we're going to share next.
Oh, fun.
When Titans football with Brian Callahan continues, the head coach and several of the Titans' best-known players join the best-known Titans fan to give a lift to some young men who need it. SeatGeek Sound is next. For superstar performer Jelly Roll, a trip to Davidson County's Juvenile Detention Center is not new. He tells the story of how he spent his 14th, 15th, and 16th birthdays there. But rather than run from his past, the worldwide phenomenon runs towards it, knowing that from his experience, a difference can be made. Jelly Roll has made numerous trips to the Juvenile Detention Center, which is just a stone's throw from Nissan Stadium. Last week, he made another trip back with some of the biggest named Titans players, Coach Brian Callahan, General Manager Rand Carthon, and Team President Burke Nihill in tow. We share this experience in our SeatGeek Sound.
Boy, do I remember Daddy do
58 stop tour coming to an end.
Yes,
right
tonight.
here in your hometown of
Beautiful.
Nashville. But before the show, you come to the Juvenile Detention Center. It's something you've done at different facilities throughout your tour. Why is it important for you to do this, and why are you here today?
You know what's crazy is me going to different facilities started here. This place was so impactful on me whenever I was a juvenile. I spent some time in here, and it was the most impressionable years of my life, some of the darkest moments of my life. And then it's crazy because the next one over, you see the corner of the Jumbotron too. It's crazy. And the corner sales was the only sales in the building still that didn't have bunk beds. You show up and every superstar on the team is here, and the coach is here, and the general manager's here, and y'all's whole media team's here just loving on the kids. It's just, man, I joke, man, I come here all the time. These kids, I'm old news to these kids. They wasn't really a Jelly Roll fan anyways. They're just a fan of who I am as a human. These kids watch these guys every Sunday. I watch these kids turn into kids today. And normally they're inmates. Normally they're convicts. And I watched them let their guard down and get nerdy today. It was cool.
Yeah, I don't I'm not a big media guy.
Surround yourself with good people, man. Hear Jelly Roll's story that Jelly Roll actually was in the same detention center. You know, I think he said 3 years, and for him to be in this detention center and be able to come back, you know, I'm sure that means the world to these kids. That means the world to these people working in this building. To invite us to be able to let us partner with him to be able to come here, it means a lot, especially for me, with a big name like Jelly Roll. I never thought I'd be in the same room as Jelly Roll, especially in a situation like this. We appreciate him so much for what he do for the community, especially up in Nashville. Hopefully we can continue to grow our relationship.
I know when you're 15 years old, spending 9 months in this place feels like the complete end of the world. Man, when you're 40, dude, 9 months is like a big nap. Just relax. I promise you're going to get through it, man.
He watched the Music City Miracle play through that window off the Jumbotron on January 8th, 2000. That really happened. Brian, what was that experience like just a couple days before Thanksgiving for you and everybody involved?
It was really cool. Jelly Roll's been so great as a Titans fan, and the support he gives the organization and the players. And when he came in training camp, he had asked if we'd accompany him at some point to the detention center. And I said, absolutely, whatever you need, we'll be there. And all the players did the same. And it was a really cool moment to see what he was talking about. With these are young kids. They're not very old. They're 13, 14, 15 years old. And they faced a lot of trying times in life. And to see them be able to just, like he said, be a kid, laugh, interact with the guys that were there, really awesome moment. And you can tell how much it meant to them and to Jelly Roll for being able to provide that access for us to get there and be a part of that, and hopefully something we can continue to do.
That guy's for real.
He is absolutely for real. Everything about him. He's genuine when it comes to giving back, and you can tell how much it means to him.
Yeah, that was an honor to have a chance to be there and watch you guys and Jelly Roll and our management be there. It was really special. And the young men, especially the young man who had recorded the song in the music studio that Jelly Roll put in for them, he's got some talent.
It was a good song.
It was a good song.
You saw some heads nodding back and forth when he was doing it.
Saw Jelly Roll too.
Yep.
Maybe making notes, who knows. When Titans football with Brian Callahan continues, the head coach gives us our first look at this week's opponent at Nissan Stadium, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Stay tuned. It's time for Callahan's First Look, presented by Nissan. The opponent this week, AFC South rival Jacksonville. Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence was injured on Sunday against Houston. His status for this Sunday's game in Nashville very much up in the air. So if Trevor Lawrence cannot go, Mac Jones will be his replacement. And Brian, Mac Jones is coming off a very solid effort last Sunday. What does he bring to their offense?
He brings experience. He brings some toughness, and you can tell, former first-round pick, played a bunch of football, stepped in and played well for Trevor in relief, and he's done some good things this year, and you can tell why they wanted to bring him in as a backup, that if they ever needed someone to come in, he'd be the guy, and he's done actually a really nice job so far this season in his relief role.
Got to feel like it means something to him as well. He's from Jacksonville, Florida. In his rookie season, first-round pick Brian Thomas seems to have developed rather quickly. What makes the former LSU Tiger tough to defend?
Well, it's a combination of size and speed and strength, and he can really run, and he's got great hands and great speed, and they've put him in a bunch of different places and used his skill set quite a bit, and his production has shown, and he's a really talented young player at the receiver position in this league.
In his third season, former #1 overall pick Trayvon Walker has come into his own. Is there anything the 6'5", 275-pounder cannot do?
No, you see every bit of his talent is starting to show. You can tell he's gotten better with his time in the league. You can tell his rush plans and rush moves have matured. He's becoming a complete defensive end in the NFL, and his production is starting to match the draft pick status, and he's really a fantastic football player.
Whew, that was quite a bull rush. He can really run for a man that size, which is sort of what took everyone aback at the Combine. Again, Trayvon Walker, 8.5 sacks this year, playing with Josh Hines-Allen, two really outstanding edge rushers. Remember, the Titans host the Jaguars this Sunday at 12:02 Central. Titans radio coverage begins at 11 a.m. Central on our flagship station, 104.5 The Zone in Nashville. And all of our Titans radio stations throughout the entire Mid-South region. We hope that you will join us. For Coach Brian Callahan, I'm Mike Keith. Thanks for being with us, and we'll see you next time.